The man was just seconds away from being mauled to death by a grizzly bear. But instead of running, he gritted his teeth through the pain and lay motionless on the ground, playing dead. He let the bear bite and claw at his body, knowing that his only slim chance at survival might come once the bear lost interest. But grizzlies aren't so easily fooled. The massive animal raised its enormous paw and slammed it down hard on the man's head. Even as his skull throbbed with blinding pain, the man forced himself to stay still, not making a sound. But the bear, still full of curiosity, wasn't done with him yet. It grabbed the man's padded coat with its jaws and lifted him off the ground, shaking him like a rag doll. Still, the man didn't dare make a noise. When he finally collapsed lifelessly back to the ground, the bear nudged him a few more times. Bored at last, it lost interest and wandered off. Just as the man had barely clung to life, a dangerous thought crept into his mind. Seeing the bear still roaming nearby, the man clenched his teeth and pushed himself up using his arms, dragging his wounded body toward his rifle. Fighting through the searing pain, he picked up the gun and, hands trembling, aimed it at the bear. But the shot did nothing. It only enraged the beast. With a furious roar, the grizzly lunged forward, slashing his throat with razor-sharp claws. The man was once again thrown into the depths of agony. When he finally lay completely still, the bear turned and walked away. But animals will always fall for human tricks sooner or later. The grizzly had been fooled once again. This time, the man hadn't learned his lesson. Summoning the last of his strength, he pulled a knife from his chest pocket, slowly raised his head, and locked eyes with the bear. Sure enough, the enraged animal charged at him, determined to tear this stubborn human to pieces. The man wildly stabbed at the bear again and again. Luck was finally on his side. He drove the blade straight into the grizzly's heart. In a flash, man and bear tumbled down the hillside together and went still. No one knew how much time had passed when his teammates, drawn by the sound of gunfire, arrived. As they rolled the bear's lifeless body off of him, the sight left everyone in stunned silence. There he was, barely alive, lying weakly on the ground. No one could understand how he had survived. The team scrambled to treat his wounds, but his body was so battered and broken that even the most experienced medic was helpless. With no better option, they began stitching up his torn skin like patching a piece of ripped fabric. To fight infection, the team leader used their last bottle of liquor to disinfect his wounds. But when team member Fitz saw the captain's actions, he thought it was a waste of precious resources. Out in the middle of the remote wilderness with no real medicine, he believed not even a miracle could save the man. To Fitz, letting him go might have been the more merciful choice. The captain understood, but this was a brother in arms, a man he'd risked his life with. How could he ever give up on one of his own?